So I'm not gonna tell you why, but we're gonna watch together, and y'all gonna see why his review of Sinners got shit on the way it got shit on. And I think he tells spoilers, so be aware of that if we watching it and you didn't see the movie and plan to.
I went to go see The Sinners last night.
That's the strike one. He keeps calling it The Sinners. It's not called The Sinners. It's called Sinners.
Trash.
Go ahead.
Hey. So disappointed. Sinners was
Ass.
ass. I don't get it, bro. I mean, we get it. We get it. But
It was made for
Get it.
for a reason. We're gonna talk about it.
It was made for a reason. What the fuck does that? It was made for a reason. Every movie's made for a reason.
That movie was fucking trash. I'm so disappointed. That movie was butt cheap.
Yeah, and then why y'all gas it?
Gas. That movie
For
was
what? It was not good.
And we thought we was the only ones, but then I went to the bathroom and I was talking to bros that just watched it, and they was confused as shit. Like, bro, what the fuck did I just watch? What up, Night Nation? It's your boy, Stevie Knight. About to get on one of these things. You feel me? What's good to watch? Night Watch, man. Yeah, nice little change of pace, bro, because we doing a movie review. Before we do it, like always, man, Pete the Drip. Shop, StevieKnight.com for that. Of course, your boy's book. Still available for purchase. My book is better than The Sinners, bro.
Nicole, the movie is great. I think there's a level of people overhyping it. Some people was like, oh, this is like Endgame. And I'm like, what the fuck is y'all talking about? How can a single installation of a movie be like Endgame? Endgame is a culmination of fucking 15 years of movies. That was a bit extreme. There were people that's overdoing it for sure, but it was still a phenomenal movie. It's really nitpicky to point out what you didn't like, unless you went in there expecting one thing and didn't get it.
No,
I went in not really understanding what I was getting into, so I enjoyed
come across as I'm hating, bro. I don't, dog, but it's just because of the fucking hype, bro.
And that's the problem number one. If you let the hype get to you and you go in like, oh, then you're going to be disappointed if it don't live up to it. Not to say no movie can live up to the hype, but I think people did overdo their part, but it didn't make the movie bad. It didn't make the movie bad. I still think it's like an 8.5, 9 out of 10 personally. Probably I'll give it a 9.
Was hype, bro. You feel me? Like, it always happens to me, though, bro. It always happens to me when things are hyped. They never live up to the expectation. There's that, but then this just tanked as far as I'm concerned, bro. Warning, if you hadn't seen it and you plan on seeing it, don't even watch this because I'm about to give you all the spoilers, bro.
Nicole, I want you to stick around, but I don't know if you want spoilers. I know a lot of people seen it, but I understand if you don't want to, no spoilers.
But yeah, me and my girl decided to go pull up and watch it finally because of just the promotion, but then like all the positive responses from the movie, bro. Like the reaction, the reviews from the movie have been crazy, bro. I'm talking about 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.3 on IMDb. Like, I don't even really rock with Rotten Tomatoes, bro, because they be on that different type of time. IMDb, I refer to them as pretty accurate as far as reviews are concerned, bro. So when I seen that, and then on top of it, bro, like, I am a horror movie lover, dog. It's my favorite genre of movies, bro.
And that's how you know, like, he was so sold on hype and expectations. The movie's not really a horror movie. It does have that tag, but it's really, when you think about horror, this movie to me it's more of a thriller. You know what I'm saying? Thriller, suspense, drama, somewhere between those three movies, but it's not your traditional horror. I get why it has it, but it's not a traditional horror movie. I'll say that.
And it's vampires on top of it, and I'm a vampire enthusiast, bro. Like, I'm a vampire buff. You feel me? I like everything vampires, bro, from the 30 Days and Nights to.
And also, vampires is in the movie, but the movie is not a vampire movie as well. That's why I'm saying that's what I think a lot of people like about the movie. It's very unique. They approached it in a creative way that a lot of movies are not willing to do. You know what I'm saying? Even the fact that the whole movie is in one day. I'm not saying that's a concept that's never happened, but it's not common that the movie is made where the entire film is a single day. So, you know, even that approach was unique. And just the vampires are a metaphor. The vampires are not, it's not a vampire movie, and they're not there to be like, look at the vampires. That's not the point.
Hell, the Blades, bro. Right? Underworlds. You know what I'm talking about? Let Me In. The Draculas, bro. Hell, I fuck with Vampire in Brooklyn. Goddamn. Yeah, I even fuck with Twilight. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. The first time I seen Twilight, dog, I was like, man, what the fuck is this gay? I remember like yesterday, dog. I went and peeped into a red box because everybody was gassing it. Kind of the same situation here, right? And I'm watching it thinking I'm about to see some vampire-ish, and I see these vampires, skin all twinkling in the sun. Like, what type of gay shit is this, bro? But then when I understood what it was about, you know what I'm talking about? It's vampires, but it's pretty much a whole Romeo and Juliet type of situation.
So I don't get why Twilight gets leeway for understanding what it's about, then you like it. Because Twilight was super corny to me, and I couldn't get into it. Nothing about it felt enthralling, and I'm like, this shit weird. I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't get into it. I'm not saying it's bad. People love that shit, but I don't get how Twilight gets leeway for understanding what they're trying to do, but Sinners is trash.
Werewolves, vampires, same thing with Underworld. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know nothing
those
about
storylines, though. Right? So once I understood that, I rock with Twilight. I understood the concept. But this right here, especially when you classify it as horror. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and that's gonna, if you go in there like, I want to see a horror movie, you probably won't be satisfied, and that's fair. I don't know how to classify that movie. It's not a traditional horror movie, though. That's fair.
Especially when you classify it as horror. You know what I mean? And I am as critical comes when it comes to movies, bro. That's why I don't even try to go watch new movies these days, bro, because can't nobody come up with no fresh ideas and, new scripts. I feel like they keep recycling the same type of plot over and over and over again using different actors.
It's funny you don't like that, but this movie did none of that.
You feel me? So I can't even tell you last time me and my girl went to an actual movie, bro, because nothing has been alluring to us. But anyway, we pulled up to this, man, because just the response from it is viral. Like this is the one. You know what I'm talking about? I heard people getting up and clapping after. I'm like, to a horror movie? Okay, say less. Let's ride. I was looking forward to it and shit. And I don't usually look forward to nothing. I think
even honestly, if you base off the reception it gave, it should, a lot of people said it's not a horror movie. And then also, nobody leaves a horror movie with this much praise. If a horror movie gets a lot of praise, like, man, that movie gonna scare the shit out of you. It's scary as fuck. Well, that's what you hear about a horror movie. Nobody came back like, oh my God, that movie scared the hell out of me. Because usually, like, when Smile came out, everybody was like, man, that shit's scary as fuck. Like, it's a good scary movie. And I think that's when you expect, like, oh, this shit finna be a real horror movie that's really good. Nobody left Sinners like, this is one of the greatest horror films I've ever seen. I was scared out of my boots. I shit myself. Like, that's not what happened. People just praised it as a film. You didn't miss much, bro. We just started.
Bro, but I was looking forward to going to the movie, watch shit with my girl, bro. I'm telling you, 30 minutes in this motherfucker, me and my girl looking at each other like, you serious? Maybe it's just us, because we often find ourselves in that type of element, bro. Like, we are so critical on films that we often look at each other.
I don't believe you to be critical of film and be so upset with Sinners but praise Twilight and Vampire in Brooklyn. That's kind of crazy.
This shit ass. Where everybody else think it's the world, we like, man, maybe it's just us. But it's clearly not us, bro. Because after the movie, I'm talking to people in the films that share the same sentiments as I did. So I know I'm not crazy. But before I dive into my feelings about it, I need to lay out what happened You know what I'm saying? The plot or whatnot. So we're on the same page. But in the plot ain't even nothing, bro. It ain't even nothing.
That's a full blown lie. I don't to say the plot ain't nothing. He's not even. Oh, y'all see.
Dog. What's going on during Jim Crow?
More money, more money, more money.
Hey. Shout out to Cynthia. I think you're the first person to trigger my new pop-up for the donation. Shout out to Cynthia McDonald's. Hey fam, dropping some love. Fellow Chicagoan, and Sinners is the best movie of this year. Excellent film. I have to disagree. I have to agree. I'm sorry, my dumb ass. I have to agree. I fully agree. So far, this is the best movie of the year. I don't know what's in the pipeline this year, but most definitely, Cynthia, I'm glad you stopped by. I ain't seen you in a while. I appreciate you. For real, for real. Is this going to be a tough one? Sinners probably will take the cake for film of the year. We halfway through, so we'll see. But thank you again, Cynthia. Appreciate that.
Either Mississippi or New Orleans, I don't forgot. It don't even matter, bro. It's back in Jim Crow with the black folks. You feel me? Michael B. Jordan's one of the main characters, but he plays himself twice because he plays a twin of himself, so it's two of him. And they like some prohibition gangsters back then, right? Making money the illegal ways or whatnot. And they hit a lick in Chicago, come back to wherever it is. I can't remember where it was. But back to their hometown or whatnot, buy a barn from an alleged KKK member who claims he's not KKK no more, and they turn the barn into a juke joint. Well, that's the intention, and then like the first 30 minutes is just developing this plot where they going around recruiting who they need to run the juke joint for the grand opening that night, right? So they pick up a musician, they pick up a cook, they pick up a security guard. You know what I'm saying? Highlight their little stories.
You see, like. I'm not a movie reviewer because I know that shit is very difficult, which I won't get up here and try to act like me critiquing him makes me better than him. But I want us to point out together why I want him to realize why he's getting shitted on for his review. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Clarksdale, Mississippi, to be precise. Yeah. So he's telling the plot of the movie as if that's necessary for a review. Like, you're literally talking about everything that's leading up to the moment. All that shit is irrelevant. You can talk about overarching ideas of what made you hate the movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you could talk about plot holes. You could talk about, like, you know, I didn't like how they got to this point, but we didn't understand their background as to how they got this because they just breezed over it, and I feel like that could have got more in depth. Overarching points. You don't just tell us exactly what happened in the movie because none of this is justification, or it doesn't sound like any reasoning to say why it was trash. You're just wasting time. Yeah, I agree it was good world building, but he's telling it but not providing any context around it. He's just talking about what happened in the movie. When for him to say it's so trash, he's not making any points as to why it's trash. He's just telling what happened in the movie.
Whatnot.
And I think they world built great. They really made, for the movie to take place in one day, everybody that was a prominent role in the movie you cared about. You literally cared about all these people, and they did that in a 2.5 hour movie. Like, I'm sorry, they did so much right with this movie. It's really good.
The main love interest, Josh Allen's girl.
They really found a way to make you care about everybody in the one day.
Involved with one of the twins. You know what I'm saying? And then juke joints popping. Right, and then vampires randomly pull up. They just randomly pull up.
And that's just him not being critical with the movie. They don't randomly pull up. That's not what happened. I'm not gonna tell it because it's not necessary, but that's not what happened. Vampires didn't randomly pull up. They didn't he's presenting it like, oh, they having a party and then vampires showed up. That's not what happened in the movie. It's just not what happened. It means he wasn't paying attention, or he's being obtuse on purpose.
Like the initial introduction to the vampires, when it was initial, they just you see a man running through grass to a house, and that's how they introduced the vampires. When it was initial, you see a man running through grass to a house, and that's how they introduced the vampires. I understand the the connection of the vampires to the barn with the music or whatnot, which I'll get into later. But eventually the vampires pull up to the juke joint, want to get in.
He just left out all the context of what the vampire was doing to arrive at these people's house and who they was hiding from and what was happening to them and how they were managed to get to the juke joint. He's just ignoring all of that to just try to make it sound like everything was random. Everything wasn't random.
Right. Eventually, the black folks and the vampires bump heads. Vampires end up fucking the majority of the black folks up. And really, that's pretty much it.
It's just no engagement with the film. Imagine if I explain. Okay, y'all. So imagine I explain Endgame like this. I know we got all this world building, but of course I'm not gonna go through every Marvel film. But say I describe Endgame like this. Is this evil guy? He want to take over. He wants half of the world to disappear, and the other side they get all the world's strongest superpowers, and then they go at it, and that's it. That's what happened. That's pretty much the plot. Like, that is such low engagement with what happened in that movie. You're literally showing how you either A, are being dishonest, or B, you just didn't engage with the movie at all, and you sat down and had an expectation of this vampires fucking shit up, and it's gonna be just this horror film with blood flying everywhere and garlic spears to the heart and shit. Like you and that didn't happen, so you just felt like it was shit. That's just such a dishonest way, or like I said, a way for you to fully disconnect yourself from the movie to explain it. That's
like the story. The story is, there's not much there at all. And
and mind you, he ignored the story. All of that he just said, none of it had to do with the actual plot. It's just how what he said was basically he just wanted to describe what was the action, I guess. He just got to the action. He didn't talk about the plot. He's not talking about what the story is actually about. He didn't address it in the slightest.
So many gaping holes throughout just the literal script.
No.
And
There's no. I ain't gonna say no. You might could find some, but I heard Mark Lamont Hill make a good critique. If you're being like really critical of everything, where he was just saying that for them to be in the 1930s, they was using some slang that wouldn't be used, and that's when you're being hyper critical, which is fair, but it's not. It doesn't ruin the movie.
Entirely too long for the motherfucker to develop for a horror story, and you gotta understand my perspective. I'm coming in this motherfucker.
I'm looking for a horror story.
Vampire, looking for dope shit.
And that's the problem. He felt he was so focused on a horror film, and it wasn't a horror film in the traditional sense.
I will say the acting was phenomenal. Acting was superb. You know what I mean?
Yes, it was. Everybody.
Cinematography was cool. You know what I mean? Like the production of it was cool.
Acting is cool. Cinematography, production. I guess he means music, I'm guessing. But those are three critical things to make a movie good or bad. All those is cool. You said there's no plot, but you didn't address it. Either you, again, are leaving it out because you know that you don't know it, or, you're leaving it out because you know that to further your Stevie lets his politics get in the way of a lot of his opinions, in my opinion. I think he lets politics cloud his judgment on things to a point that he can't see past it, and he's leaving out the entire plot of the movie. He's not addressing the plot. He either don't understand it or is leaving it out on purpose.
But as far as just the script and what they were doing with it, bro, it's like,
what did they do with it? The lack of words shows that he doesn't know what he's talking about. And maybe he's learning as doing his first movie review. Like, this is why I wouldn't do a movie review. But I know why he's getting shitted on for his movie review. I watch them all the time, and I know that's how I know I can't do the shit. I watch movie reviews, and I have people that I trust to be objective about their movie reviews, who I think do a good job of giving them. And that's why I wouldn't try to do this shit. And he wants to get up here and try to do it, and he's not even talking. He didn't address the plot. You named three big things that make movies good or bad and said they were all good, and you ignored the plot and just summarized the movie in the most basic way possible and called it trash. And you haven't backed it up yet.
I don't even know where to start, bro. There's so many gaping holes. Like at the beginning,
So many gaping holes. Like it was just no gaping. I can't. Like I'm not gonna say no, but you can't even address the gaping holes. And mind y'all, I'm one of them. My wife be sick of me. I'm one of them people that'll sit there and in every little mishap in editing, I'll be like, you see her hair was wet and now it's dry. Like you peep that. Like I do shit like that. So for him not to be able to have the words of one gaping hole is crazy. So he put up a text that said, so after recording the video, I was on the phone with my boy talking about the movie and my PC was still recording. The convo was better than my review. So he had the ability to know that whatever he said before he got done with his review was shit because he rather use his conversation with his boy than his review that he recorded to post.
What made you guys think that the movie was trash?
Man, that's just ass, bro.
He gonna keep saying it's ass.
In what regards? Please elaborate.
There's so many holes in it as far as the movie because I'm a horror buff and
There's so many holes. I'm a horror buff. Okay.
I'm a vampire dude, bro. So as far as executing a horror film, including vampires, they dropped the entire ball on that, bro.
Yeah, no, I told you that. Remember I said it's not about the vampires.
I know it's not about the...
And then you say, I know it's not about the vampires. So you're complaining about the vampires. Homie just said, well, I told you it's not about the vampires. Well, I know it's not about vampires. So what's the problem?
Vampires, but if you're going to use vampires, you got to do it right.
What is right? What is right? Vampires don't exist. What the fuck is right? A movie is right in its own world and rules. You can either like it or not, but you can't apply Harry Potter rules to Marvel MCU rules. What are we talking? Doctor Strange isn't Harry Potter. These are two different worlds. So whatever your understanding of vampire rules are, you can't just put them on this movie because you like vampires. They're not real. If we're talking about real things, you got more of an argument. Usually when people say that they are not a fan of a thing, what part, Grump, which one you talking about exactly when people say what, they're not a fan of a thing? But yeah, you can't just apply your own rules of your understanding of vampires onto a whole new IP. What's good, Dal?
I'm saying, like, you can't be half-assing shit.
What is half-assing?
If you're going to use vampires, you got to do it right.
I'm sorry, I really can't let it go that you saying that something that does not exist is being done wrong. That's crazy to me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be half-assing shit.
There's an origin or something, a little bit of background.
For example, bro, like when Michael B. Jordan and his vampire brother, twins, are fighting, that don't happen in the vampire world, bro. You can't have...
This is so stupid. The man basically said vampires can't fight in a movie. First of all, again, this is not a vampire movie. The movie is not about vampires. And not only that, why can't a vampire fight somebody in a movie if it was a vampire movie? When they claim to be a huge fan of something, then can't talk about said thing. Yeah, like it's ridiculous because he said, has he not? He claimed, oh, Dal, you just got here. He said he loves Blade. So I'm be honest, I never saw the first Blade. I didn't see it. So I'm assuming they fight, which I know Blade fights. I just didn't see the movie. So I know Blade fights though. So you're right. He's contradicting himself. For you to say that you vampires is your shit, and for example, why are you fighting a vampire in the movie, but Blade fights? What the fuck? Blade 3, humans are fighting vampires and winning. I'm so confused. And again, but regardless of all of this, even if it's never happened in another movie, why are you saying something that's not real has rules they have to follow in something if it's not contradicting itself inherently?
Hand-to-hand combat with no vampire, bro. He'll rip your fucking arms off and shove them up your ass. That shit wasn't believable. Like,
I just love how you just gave rules to a film that they never presented you. You're creating rules. The movie, the only time you get upset about rules being broken of a concept is in its own film. You cannot just say vampires are so strong, they're gonna rip your arms off. Well, Stevie, what vampire you done met? The vampires you know rip arms off and beat you with them? See, y'all, I don't have a big background of of understanding vampire movies. You know what I'm saying? And even if I did, I wouldn't hold rules to them to another film that's creating its own thing.
Like, bro, pinning a fucking vampire, you're fucking right. And then the girl crying because her husband out there, knowing there's a bunch of vampires out there, and she invites all the vampires in. Like, that shit was fucking goof troop.
What's the part that
You don't have to like it, but it's understandable that she was just sick of the bullshit. You can understand somebody. The part is movies be having that person be like, why would they do that dumb shit? So if she was that, why would you go do something that stupid part? But it is what it is.
I thought that was very, very bad on that part.
And then they actually fighting the vampires.
And it doesn't make the movie bad.
It was like 5 or 6 of them that don't have no combat experience out besides Michael B. But they handling fucking vampires with bullets, and vampires don't die from bullets, but you see these vampires getting fucked up from bullets.
He's not paying attention to the movie. Like, he's literally saying things that was explained or was true in the movie. He's making shit up. They explicitly said in the movie, yeah, these bullets don't kill them, but it slows them down because they observed that from when they shot a vampire. They saw, like, motherfucker, like, you're literally lying now. He's lying. They said, we know these bullets don't kill them, but it slows them down. And the only reason they had that information is because they did it and they saw it happen. Why are you saying that they taking them out with the bullet? No, they were not taking them out. They were slowing them down. And the combat experience thing, that's not, he's presenting it as if what we saw was unreasonable, and it's just not the case. If you see the movie, like, everybody's behavior made sense to their character. Like, nobody was out of character in the fighting. God.
100 vampires coming in to fuck with them, they would have been dead in 2 seconds. How they just dropped the white guy just randomly, like he running through a field and goes to this house. Like, they didn't provide no backstory. Just like they needed he running through a field. How they just dropped the white guy just randomly, like he running through a field and goes to this house. Like, they didn't provide no backstory. Just like they needed a random vampire. He
didn't pay attention to the movie. A lot of this shit was explained, and this nigga don't need to do movie reviews. He thinks everything is random, and a lot of this shit is not random. Most of this shit was not random. A lot of this story was told, and maybe not overtly, but it was told. Like, all this was explained.
Pop up to get the story going. Like,
no,
you need to provide some context. They could have left that part out and just continue with the story of how powerful music is and just introduce the vampires then, because then it would make sense of how these vampires came across.
That makes no sense. How are you upset that they introduced you to vampires before they just randomly popped up because they were attracted to the music? That doesn't take away from the fact. You rather the vampires came out of nowhere from the music versus them being shown to exist in the world prior to and how they recruited. You don't want that information of how they recruited more vampires because it wasn't because of music directly, but you want them to just play the music and they just pop up out of nowhere. That's not even a better way to show them. This is stupid.
Buddy, because the music was that powerful. Like, he just happened to be randomly at some town with his family, and then
this is so pedantic. This is like saying Tony Stark just happened to be rich and he just happened to live in New York. It's just so like this is so nitpicky and doesn't make sense. You just randomly in some town. That part isn't even that random, to be honest. Like, none of this shit is random that he's saying is random.
And now he's there, and then the fucking Indians just
Native Americans were chasing them. Were chasing them to kill them because remember, Native Americans were hunters of the vampires.
Yeah. But that was it. They just had them in there for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Let me ignore the part that I just didn't address. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not engaging. He's not engaging with the content of the movie. He's being so nitpicky.
And if the Indians are there,
they were going to show back up during the.
But they didn't.
Did you think that they were going to show up too again or no?
I thought that they were going to include them some other point. You know what I'm saying? These some fucking killers. They know how to handle vamps, and you gonna just a vamp's running loose in your town or whatever. You gonna just let the motherfucker go? That was stupid. And then you're not gonna tell the bitch that there's a vamp.
Wait, they didn't let him go. They just wasn't gonna raid somebody's house. And he said they better get rid of him if they see it. Because they claim, you're lying again. They lied about what happened, bro. Come on. Come the fuck on, bro. Oh my God. Like, you literally lying about the movie now.
Vampire in the crib, you gonna just let her fucking get killed? Like, to let her know
What?
something. I'm not gonna tell the bitch that there's a vampire in the crib. You're gonna just let her go? That was stupid. And then you're not gonna tell the bitch that there's a vampire in the crib. You're gonna just let her
funny. Talking about you got me dragging with this 69.
let her fucking get killed. Like, to let her know something. Like, you about to die if you leave him in there. He's like, hey, I just hope you have a good night. Now, he's not who you think he is. We're gonna bounce. That shit was stupid.
Yeah, he tried to be.
Well, that was at the expense of them getting into a shootout with 2 other people, and he don't want to lose his men trying to convince her that they need to kill that vampire. It became their problem at that point because they didn't want to listen.
Beat the sunset because he didn't want the vampires to come after him.
TJ, man, look, I don't watch him no more, but we going over how ridiculous his movie review is, bro. We have to. This is partially this mindset is why I stopped watching him the way I used to too, because his brain is fried with politics.
He wanted to smoke. I want him. Bring his ass out. We're gonna fuck his ass up. But he was on
That's
some.
what
They
right,
know what,
Cynthia. That's what I'm like. At that point, it's their problem. Y'all ignored them. Y'all chose to harbor him. He told you don't fall for it, and they chose to harbor him. He not finna get in a shootout with these 2 white people over them wanting to harbor this fucking vampire. That's y'all problem now. So he dipped.
what the fuck they doing type of time. But then, all right, well, if you kill Vance, you gonna let this vamp kill this family? And then, like, I didn't know.
They can't barge into their house if they, especially because they didn't know for 100% that if he was in there.
So you gonna let this vamp kill this family? And then, like, I didn't know how woke this shit was until after I read about all the double meanings and shit.
Everything to him, if it's black people involved, is woke. It's woke because black people and white people are at odds for whatever reason. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's gonna be some spoilers in this. It's a really good movie though.
But
regardless if it gets spoiled for you, I don't want to spoil it for nobody. But yeah, it's spoilers in this.
I realized what the fuck the movie was about. It's just like a woke propaganda piece.
Now, if you ever address things that this whole movie is a metaphor for how what happened between slavery and Native American and cultural appropriation and shit like that. It's all a metaphor for it. So now you can never address it. It's woke. It's just gotta be woke. Yeah, he's a black conservative, Cynthia. Yes, he is. He said, "Oh, spoil it."
Because it's
happened. What was woke about it?
Because
I never saw you spell it like that, Nicole.
The meaning behind the movie is the vampires are irrelevant. The vampire is the metaphor for white people appropriating black culture. So, the black people are in the juke joint having a black time. It's black owned. We having a good time. This is our shit. And then they playing the music, which attracts the vampires, which is also the white people, and they want to get in and get down with the black folks, but the black folks don't let them. So then the vampires start playing their music, saying we can get down and shit too, right? But they still don't let them in. And then they eventually get in and they take over. So it's like the white people taking over black spaces, right? That's why they try to emphasize how important music is, specifically to black people, where they had that scene where Buddy's going crazy playing the blues, and they show like how powerful it is.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, I used to watch his content because he felt more balanced, but he's so conservative brain that he can't look at things outside of that mindset, and it just diminished the quality of his content. I felt like he was balanced at a point in time. So now it's just like everything he does has got to be, it's woke. Like he champions people like Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I feel like he let politics fry him.
You see how the future, you see the past, and how it was rooted in our DNA and all that. They're trying to show how powerful music is to the black culture to emphasize that point.
Did you like that scene at least, how they meshed all the musics together and stuff?
No. I was already off at that.
He didn't like one of the coolest parts of the movie. It's like, bro, like that was one of the coolest parts. Now, I do think it went on a little too long. It was a little bit too long, about 20 seconds, 30 seconds too long. But that was one of the coolest parts of the movie.
That point, bro. I was already pissed at that point.
Did you read this woke stuff before you went?
No, after. After.
So you didn't have, so you went and read it after, and now it's like, oh, everything woke now, but you didn't think it initially. If it was really woke, that means it would have jumped out at you from the jump. And this movie didn't do that for me.
But that's why the movie's so appealing to the black community specifically, is because they're purporting this message behind it, bro. It's like about culture vulture, white appropriation, and how white people are just, vampires sucking black.
And that's not even true, too. That's low engagement, too. It's not even just about white people, because, again, this stuff is explained in the movie. Like, it's not just about white people taking things from black folk. It's not that simple, I should say. That's an aspect, but it's not that cut and dry.
Black energy.
I like
Because lo and behold, I don't want to tell that part. I'm not going to say that part. I don't want to say that part.
it because of like
It's a little more subtle than that, I should say. The way they present it, it's a little more subtle than how he's presenting it.
the way that they showed it, like
Yes, he's cherry picking.
the authenticity of like the costumes, the town.
Production was fucking phenomenal.
The production was good as shit.
Yeah.
I thought Michael B. Jordan did his thing.
The acting was phenomenal. The production was phenomenal, but the story was whack. Like, if you just think about it, the plot was it was stupid. Vampires pull up on black people partying, and then that's it. It was
That's not the plot. Why would you say that? Like I said, if Endgame, the plot was stupid. This team, the good guys versus the bad guys, they both pull up and fight, and that's it. That's not the plot. That's not what happened. That's not the plot of the movie. All you did was say what the final act of it was. That's what, or maybe the third act. You didn't know. That was not the plot. You just said the fucking climax was the plot of the movie. Oh God.
plot. Like, okay, what the fuck did I just watch? And then the whole shootout at the end was fucking whack. It was like, why? And that whole concept.
Why?
Like,
Why was that whack?
KK.
Not when you're breaking it down like that. Yeah, I see it from that standpoint, 100%.
And then at the
No, bro, stand on yours. Don't let him talk you into that. He's not even making no sense. Oh, the plot was they was having a juke joint and the vampires showed up and that was it. Like, that is not the plot of the movie.
The KKK really wanted to fuck up shop and fuck up black people. Why the hell they gonna wait till the juke joint is closed? If you really want to
To keep his fucking hands dry, you idiot. And bro, this is so brain dead. I didn't even realize he said this stupid shit when I watched this the first time. God damn, I don't want to tell too much for the people that didn't see it. But this is so stupid. It's like you're just not engaged with the movie whatsoever because you think it's woke now and you just threw everything off to the wind to just push these fucking right-wing talking points.
kill a bunch of black folks. You pull up when the club is hot and take them all out. Then you going to just kill the owners the next day? That shit was stupid. And then
what? Then he just mixed up what happened.
hell, they gonna wait till the juke joint is closed. If you really want to kill a bunch of black folks, you pull up when the club is hot and take them all out. Then you going to just kill the owners the next day? That shit was stupid.
TJ, you talking about dog spoil it? No, that's just I don't want to. He's spoiling stuff right now. He's saying stuff and I'm responding, but I don't want to say more. But just know that his engagement with this movie is just so non-existent at this point. It's just I don't even understand why he thinks that he doesn't understand why people shitted on him for this review.
Stupid. And then the scene with all the vampires died, that's fucking whack. The vampire just stayed out there and saw the sun come up and just volunteered to die. Like, y'all saw
No, that's not what happened. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This nigga's stupid, bro. Jasmine, what's good for sliding? I appreciate you, man. This nigga's slow, bro. This is ridiculous. And that's what I'm saying, bro. And think about it, Dal. It's not that everybody has to think the movie is the best thing ever or even like it in general. But he's not being honest about with what's happening. He's just not being honest. Yeah, like y'all still like if you don't want to hear spoilers, but y'all here to support, I appreciate you. Yeah, you still need to see this movie. Nothing that's said can make you not want to watch it regardless. It's still worth it. Even if you get told everything, the movie's still worth it. Because you just gotta see. You just gotta see. Even when people, if I explain certain scenes to you, you still gotta see it.
Your master is about to get killed, but y'all don't have to stand out there and get killed with him. And they made it. They made it
Literally
abundantly clear in the movie that, like, usually in vampire movies, you kill the head vampire, all the vampires die. But they made it clear in this shit that that's not the way it was. You got to kill that fucking vampire. So if the head vampire, even at the end, like the end of credits, Michael B. Jordan, his girl was still alive. So the head vampire had nothing to do with them. So all them vampires just stayed out there and died for nothing. They could have fucking left. Seeing the sun come up, that part was stupid. I was really gassed or juiced to see the movie, right? And I knew it was gonna fall short of my expectations because that shit happens all the fucking time. But then once I started going with it and connecting the dots, like, oh, this shit is fucking ass. Because they
exactly, Dow. It's just he didn't engage with the movie at all. Like it's very, very, very few holes in this movie that I can think of.
Dick themselves, bro. If the message behind the fucking movie is to highlight appropriation of black culture, how white people do that shit, what's the point of
and ignore the fact that it also happened to white people too in this film. I just have to say it. It wasn't just black people being appropriated in this movie. White people got appropriated too.
Having the pretty white girl involved with Michael B. Jordan be the lead cause of everything happening, right? It's because of her that the vampires got in the motherfucking the crib. The point of the movie is to demonize white people, right? So the white people coming in and take over. But
the point of the movie is not to demonize white people. He just thinks that because he thinks everything is political.
The white people that y'all are championing is like, you know,
or about what's the word they be using? Social identity. Y'all know the word I'm talking about? Identity politics. He think everything is about identity politics.
Socially down, like she grew up with us and shit. But she the pretty white girl that lets the vampires in. Like, she's the reason everything popped off. She got Michael B. Jordan, everything popped off because of that. And then at the same time, if you want to empower black people, bro, why would you have this big black fat girl be the representation of, like,
y'all see how this nigga feel? Like, he just gave up the game. Y'all got this pretty white girl, and he said, why you got this fat black lady? What the fuck? Why you... This is what I'm talking about with identity politics. His brain is like, yeah, the pretty white girl, she the one that messed everything up. So why you got this fat black lady? Bro, what's with the hostility about her, A, being black and B, overweight? And it was honestly, it was mostly titties. She was really about the titties. She wasn't even, I really wouldn't even call her fat. It was mostly titties. But regardless of that, why is this hostility towards the black woman in the movie? You got this pretty white girl. You got this fat black woman. This is crazy, bro.
Bro, why would you have this big black fat girl be the representation of like the black savior woman? She was the one that knew the shit. She knew how to kill.
So is it the fact that she was fat? Is it the fact that she was black? Is it the fact that it was a lady? What the fuck is, like, why? What was wrong with her being her? What was the problem? I don't get the issue behind that.
The vampire, she's the one to put everybody on game. You would represent the black woman in that regard, this big fat black girl.
See, and he says it again. Why is that relevant? Why is it bad that she's black?
White girl, the pretty white girl, the pretty motherfucker.
Vampire titties. No, it ain't vampire titties.
And she's the reason why everybody got fucked up.
I did talk to the person about that after that I went to the movie with. I was just kind of like, damn, how they did do the compare and contrast in regards to the contrasting of the white girl and the big black girl. I did say that.
That white girl didn't need to.
I did not feel like it was a contrast. I just feel like to me, the white girl was just a representation of that shit happened. There were black and white people that was attracted to each other and genuinely liked each other. And he just happened to mess with a white girl. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. To be honest, everything could have still been the same if she was black. She just wasn't. A woman that just has a certain personality trait and be like, I want to go see what's up. I want to see what's up. That nothing really would have changed dramatically if his girlfriend was black. And I think her being white had to just play into the times and the type of relationship they had more so than how the vampires got access to them. So, and him for just chastising the woman for being bigger and black, apparently, that's all a problem because you don't like black people, I guess. I don't know.
To be white. It could have been another black girl that went out there and did the same shit. They made her white. What's the point of making her white? If the message is to demonize white people, what's the point of making her white?
Probably inclusion, but hey, man.
I said probably inclusion. Not really. I just think it's because they just wanted to have that. I think they wanted that in the movie because it was something that could be overlooked for that time period because it could happen. Because clearly racism was still a thing in the 1930s, and they were just letting it know. It was like, yes, racism was still a problem. The Klan was a thing, but there was black and white people that had relationships, and not every white person was a racist. If anything, now all that does is highlight that all white people aren't inherently evil. For you to be acting like it's about making white people evil, he was trying to show that it ain't about just being white. It was not about solely being white people bad, black people good. That's not what was happening.
Watch how you say that white girl, because that white girl, she kind of bad.
She did her thing too. She did her fucking thing. She could act her ass off.
Yeah, so and let me know, could the fat black lady act her ass off?
Her personality in that movie, though.
Yeah, she pulled that old southern dialect ass off. She sound like a goddamn sister.
Yeah, she was like, you done stuck your tongue in my coochie.
Yeah.
She was like, oh. And then when she was a vampire, she was like, oh, you can steal from them, but you can't steal this pussy?
Yeah, bro.
I said, damn, bro, she with the shit. I said, goddamn.
Yeah. Like I said, the acting was fire, but I'm not the message and the plot was whack.
Do you think that was his best role? Do you think that was his best role?
Michael B? Yeah, definitely, because he pulled off two characters at once and shit, and he did his thing.
Did you like how he played both the brothers?
Yeah.
It was kind of believable that it was two of them. You feel me?
Nah, he did his thing. He definitely did his thing.
And I was more so talking about the ambiance of it, the whole, like you said, the production standpoint.
Yeah.
I like how the standpoint. I like how that the famous brother, the one that kind of reminded me of Samuel Jackson.
Delroy
Lindo. I don't know his name, but
from Delroy Lindo.
like
the drunk.
Yeah. I like him in movies. I like the young man that played the guitar. You feel me? Like I liked
Cynthia. That do not surprise me. It just makes so much sense that she's British now. It makes so much sense. Like it's something about some of these. They getting a lot of British actors to do these films in America, and it just made so much sense to me. I'm like, she do look like she British now, and it's crazy because black people I didn't know Aaron Pierre wasn't American at first. I thought Aaron Pierre was American, but she gives me a British vibe now that you say it.
I don't know. I like the music aspect.
Yeah,
of
you
it.
like the ambiance. You liked everything outside of the actual movie. Like that plot was
What
whack,
are you
bro.
talking about? What do you mean outside of the actual movie? It's all part of the movie. How is the vibe and the ambiance of a movie outside of the movie? What the fuck are you talking about?
I was caught up in the ambiance of it all, and the whole the acting that I didn't even, until you mentioned it now, I didn't think nothing of the plot. I swear to God.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of movies.
He is letting him rattle his brain, bro. I didn't get nothing of the plot. Y'all didn't engage with it then, if that's the point. Y'all didn't engage with the plot whatsoever.
To me, it's the fucking plot, the story, and the story was whack. Like
you still have yet to address what the story really is.
I compare it to Get Out, bro. It's the same shit, but Get Out as a movie was fire. Get Out had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. They tried to do
this movie isn't meant to have you on the edge of your seat necessarily. So you're comparing.
Get Out and
I think Get Out is more of a horror movie. I think is more of a horror movie than this. So it's they're in two different realms.
Miserably.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
They still had that agenda. It was still divisive. It was still like white versus black. You know what I'm saying? Turning blacks into slaves.
Or something like that.
Huh?
It was called the other movie that killed it or whatever his name is, or
is it called Us?
Yeah,
Us?
friend, it's like how do you let him
like
sway
duality.
you
I saw that. That
easily?
shit. I ain't like that one that much.
It's not even that he's swaying them easily. It's that he's not making salient points. He's just it was trash. You know, you like everything outside of the movie. What the fuck are you talking about?
He was trying to do too much. But Get Out.
Why did your wife dislike the movie?
Huh?
Why did your wife dislike the movie?
For the same reasons I did, bro. Like I think we got the same mind, bro. Like we were looking at each other the whole time in the theater, like just rolling our eyes, bro. I was like, cause we didn't get it, bro. It's like, why is everybody fucking with this shit so much? And it's because of what you're saying, like the production, the ambiance, the music is fire, right? They were able to depict that time back in the day real well, man. The staging, the location, all that. But see, I don't watch movies for all that. Like I appreciate it, but I'm there for like the writing. Like, what's up, man? Let me see what y'all doing. And it's just a political like propaganda piece.
You believe it's you put your perception of a political propaganda thing into this situation. This movie is not political. It's not trying to be at all. It's telling a story. I didn't get any sense of this movie being political. Yes, Cynthia, yes. You've been spot on with all your questions you knew the answer to. You knew every question you asked, you knew the answer, and you were correct. It's so funny because you don't know him at all.
To me, to empower, it's like black victimhood. You know what I'm saying? But we can't have shit.
There's no black victimhood.
These vampire bloodsuckers taking over our shit. Which was it's a cool idea to do, but they could have did it much better.
Get the fuck out of here. So it is a cool idea, but I'm ignoring the plot. Get Out was good, even though Get Out was way more in your face about what they were doing. As far as if you have a standard of a movie being political, Get Out is way more political than this movie. I like Get Out too, but I don't look at movies as politics all the time or identity politics. If you feel like this movie was political and Get Out wasn't, you're not being honest. He's not being honest. He probably wasn't in the same mindset when Get Out came out, and he's probably spoken about it, and he don't want to sound contradictory, so he has to say that he likes Get Out still, because I guarantee you if Get Out came out last year, he would shit on it. I guarantee if Get Out came out recently, he would shit on it, because that movie was way more blatant about white people bad, black people good. This movie did not do that whatsoever. This movie was not trying to portray white people necessarily as evil. Get Out damn near was like, yeah, white people just try to take over black people because we better than them. That's what happened. That's the type of review he would give Get Out today. He would be like, shit was stupid, man. Like, you know how they say black people are stronger and they built better and all this stuff, and white people just use them for their bodies, you know. So the movie was basically, they was just trying to make black people slaves, you know, just some more propaganda, politics shit, you know. They was taking the brains out of the black people and put them in the white people so they could live longer. All it is was a new form of slavery and all that shit. That's how he would talk about Get Out right now. But since it was probably out before he made this right-wing push, he can't say that now. If Matt Walsh wrote it.
Fire, made it more believable. It had a dope-ass plot.
No.
Yeah. What did you think of this of the second ending?
When they pulled up to the bar?
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah. It was cool.
What would you take
that
from
was
that?
A cool part too.
Like,
and you look.
Did you
so it was cool. Is you gonna shit on it or you gonna say why it was cool? You don't. It's this low engagement.
That made you think like it was.
No, I thought it was cool. I thought it was a creative ending for it, and you know what I mean. They say that they really fuck with each other and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? My brother told me to let you live, so I let you live, and I thought it was cool. It was cute.
Okay, cool. Yeah, in my head I was like, okay.
That was one of the better parts of the film too.
Like he kept his word with his brother.
Yeah.
You can't catch me cooning like this.
Low-key thought for a second. The person I went with, I was like, yo, like, when you did say, because I watched, like, the Twilight, I watched, like, the Vampire Diary shit and all that stuff, and it's just, I've seen a lot of vampire stuff, and when they're newborns, they're the strongest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, that's one thing that I did. I was kind of like,
again, so his friend is stupid too, because why are y'all putting rules on a made up idea that's in a world that's new? This isn't Twilight. This isn't, what's the movies y'all name? This isn't True Blood. This isn't Queen of the Damned. This isn't Vampire in Brooklyn. This ain't none of that shit. Stop putting rules on a movie that's made its own movie.
Normally the people who even turn them over tend to be weaker than the new ones, because the new ones are the strongest because they're the hungriest. They're the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't have enough control.
If that rule was not established in this movie, why the fuck are you bringing it up?
Shit. So, yeah, I could see that.
And Vampires Hill, bro. And when that part when he shot Buddy in the face and Buddy's face didn't heal. I'm like, bro, you're a vampire. You're not a fucking zombie. Like vampires.
And at what point did the movie put this rule on anybody? First of all, that wasn't even the first time we saw somebody not heal. They literally showed you, fam, this nigga stupid, bro. It's like he doesn't even understand film. When they show you things that doesn't overtly get said, he's ignoring it. You know what? Hell, he was ignoring things that was overtly said as far as people like what's the word? I forgot the word. Y'all, I be forgetting words that I know all the time. Basically just announcing what's happening when they tell you something versus show you something. He's ignoring that they showed you something, so you're supposed to take that as the rule and apply it for the movie. He's ignoring it and jumping to something that we already understand happens and saying like, yeah, why he ain't healed? Bro, they let us know that they don't fucking heal from their wounds. That's irrelevant. It's not even a big deal, and it didn't contradict itself. Why are you making this rule up?
His face is healed. Tedious, but like I like vampires. You're gonna do vampires, you gotta do it right.
You're gonna use that type of thing, then at least be true to the.
Yeah, like keep it consistent.
True to what? It is consistent within its own movie. What the fuck are we talking about?
Tedious, but like the heal. Vampires heal, bro. And when that part when he shot Buddy in the face and Buddy's face didn't heal, I'm like, bro, you're a vampire. You're not a fucking zombie. Like vampires' faces heal. Tedious, but like
in what world? Because it's not this one. They never showed vampires healing from damage in this film.
I like vampires. You're gonna do vampires, you gotta do it right.
You're gonna use that.
This is stupid. It's just plain stupid.
That type of thing, then at least be true to the.
Yeah, like keep it consistent.
It is consistent in its own movie. Stop comparing it to other vampire movies.
Yeah,
because every other thing that does vampires kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
Do they? Like, y'all, it seems like, first of all, it sounds like what y'all are saying is everything that happened in this movie has happened in other vampire movies from what y'all are saying, because y'all seem to know more about them than me. This is absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I get what you're saying from that standpoint. Damn, I'm definitely going to have to, I ain't recommending your ass nothing. Because when I seen that you guys put trash, I was like, damn, bro. I was like,
I just did a whole video about it. I'm gonna see how that shit go. I'm gonna post it on my music channel. Cause it's so viral. I'm like, man, I must be missing something. But I know exactly what it is, bro. It's like it's popping because we live in this woke ass world and it's,
you see how his brain works? Everything is about being woke. He thinks everything, if it got to do with black people, it's got to be woke. It can't just be a good film on its own merits.
Victimhood, white devil, literally white victim or black victim, white devil, literally.
Yeah, it was 1,000% that. But damn, thank you for breaking that shit down like that to a science, because now I feel like shit. So many goddamn holes in that story.
Yeah, bro. Hello holes.
Next,
I ain't recommending that shit to nobody.
We're gonna watch. He said I ain't gonna recommend it to nobody. He really talk him into thinking that the movie was bad. That's crazy. So now let's watch him reading off the comments he got on that video and how he still can't engage with people being critical. He doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't know how to critically engage with
be a doozy, boy. When I tell y'all, your boy's getting cooked in the comments, man. God.
Raw mayo is crazy.
The other day I left a review to the movie The Sinners, right? You know, I ain't like it. And
come on, man. What's
pretty
happening?
much said that in the video, and I gave a compelling argument, right?
I gave a compelling argument. Was anybody in here compelled? I think not. There was absolutely nothing compelling about that argument at all. Some people can actually make me think that some shit that I like is bad if they actually give a compelling argument. That wasn't, I don't know why he thought that was compelling at all.
It's still available if you want to see it. And with that, I knew people was going to disagree just because the movie was so popular and the reviews of it have been outstanding, right? That's what instigated my whole video, was like, man, why is this movie so popping? And I knew it was going to be a lot of, pushback, whatever, man. I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it.
He keeps saying The Sinners, yeah.
Discourse, it's good conversations or whatnot. You know what I mean? Hey, ordinarily, I'm not surprised by anything on social media, bro. Period. You know what I mean? But when I tell y'all how peeps' feelings is hurt because your boy didn't like a movie,
everybody's feelings was hurt. No, your feelings was hurt because you're making a video about the review, about the comment section. Your feelings was hurt.
I'm saying they cooking your boy. All because little old me didn't like the movie, bruh. So that just
again, it ain't about not liking it. It was just a terrible way to review a movie. And you're new to this, so you honestly shouldn't even expect to be good at it. You've never done that before. You're doing something new. Like the video, I did one video where I was trying to impersonate Piers Morgan. That was new as fuck for me. I don't consider myself like a funny person necessarily, like can go out there and make you laugh through any situation. But I tried something new. Some people really liked it. Some people was like, that was shit. It was new, so I'm like, I can't expect it to be raw just because I'm trying something new. I know my accent was trash, but I know people understood what I was trying to do. Now, next time I do it, I want my accent to be better when I imitate him. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that my accent was trash. He should know that reviewing movies is not easy. That's why I don't want to do no shit like that. Not no formal review. You sat there and said my review, and it was terrible. That's not how you review movies at all.
Gave me the idea of I want to read more comments with y'all. Yeah, I read a few. You know what I mean? And the ones I read, it's like I think that people are just triggered by the title. And didn't
I think it was good because you knew, if you watch Piers, you know exactly where I was getting at. But I just know that my accent was bad. I gotta work on a British accent better.
The video, bro, because it's like, bro, by the response in the comments, you would have thought that I said call black people. That's the type of energy everybody got.
You was shitting on you was shitting on the fat black woman in the movie. You didn't mention anything about the other black woman at all in the movie. You praised the white woman. You think everybody that liked it is because it's a woke movie. You think it's propaganda. You damn near said fuck black people in the movie. I mean, yes, those words didn't leave your mouth, but it's not unreasonable to arrive there.
Got the comments, bro. Hey, you, everything you stand on, you and your white girl, you conservative ass Uncle Tom piece.
People wouldn't have room to say that if you didn't put out content consistently that made people believe that, you know, I don't judge people for who they date. I don't. But when you compile all the things together, it looks bad. When you have a white wife, you shit on black people all the time. If it's anything that has to do with black people, you apparently want to call it woke. Now, Eminem is my GOAT, but Eminem is his GOAT. But I don't share a lot of the other sentiments he has. So me thinking Eminem is the GOAT looks different than him thinking Eminem is the GOAT. So, you know, it's shit like that. It's just like everything about you is just this utmost praise of white folks for you to, if it's any opposition to black people, you choose the white people almost every time. So it's just and then you choose the black people that go against that you choose the black people that side with white people and go against black people. So it's shit like that, man.
When I'm giving my opinion, like real valid reasons of why I didn't like the movie,
no, your reasons were not valid. It was all bullshit.
Video is to read some comments. I mean, it's about like 600 comments now, man. I don't know how many I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read for, you know, a few minutes here to see if I come across a actual compelling argument against my critique of the movie. Right, my actual critique of the movie. You know what I mean?
Do you really feel like you critiqued it?
Not the ad hominem attacks.
Grump, I don't think anybody can out rap Eminem. Honestly, I'm be honest. I don't think anybody right now can out rap Eminem. I don't. I think Royce is phenomenal and one of the best, but I don't think anybody can out rap Eminem.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see if somebody can provide me a solid reason why they disagree with my actual points.
He thinks his reviews are good.
Those points, right?
That's the thing. Like, you think that shit was fire. You think you really said something. I don't know if I wonder if he went back to look at it. I wonder if he went back to look at it and you realize you didn't say shit. You didn't say shit. The plot was stupid. You didn't address the plot and what made it stupid.
You know, I went in expecting a horror movie. A lot of people in the comments said it's not a horror movie. Da, 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 da. Hey, if you check the damn movie, it says horror/adventure. It's a horror movie.
Yeah,
It's
it
vampires.
does say
Like,
that, and I think that it's just hard to. That movie's unique. It's hard to categorize it. I think it's more of a thriller, suspense, adventure, if that's the thing. But I don't think it should be horror. But I think it kind of the horror elements, you don't want to leave them out for people that maybe don't that people that want to avoid horror. Then maybe that's why it has the horror tag, so people can avoid it. But I think there's people that will go into it and be like, I don't think that was a horror movie. You know, it's hard. I don't know. I do think that there's some weird stuff with it being labeled a horror movie.
that's what they selling it as. If you see the preview, it looks like a horror movie.
And
You know
I
what
don't
mean?
agree
And
with
then-
that at all. I didn't know what to expect because it didn't give me a horror movie vibe. I really went into this movie not knowing what kind of movie I was finna see for real. I didn't, and I loved it. And I'm happy I didn't go into it with the mindset of this is a horror film. And the previews didn't give
how
me horror
their
film.
display of vampires was incorrect. There's holes in the script.
You didn't say how.
And,
You did not say how there was holes in the
plot.
script.
The plot was whack to me. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't even address why the plot was whack. You just saying
as
the
far
plot
as
was
all
whack.
the meanings and
You didn't say why.
the metaphors
Right, it's a few jump
or
scares.
whatnot, man. Like I can appreciate the attempt. You know what I mean? But to debunk anybody's point as far as me being this whole Uncle Thomas conservative, what else they call me?
I like
Bootlicking
Get Out.
ass, whatever, bro. Like, sole reason that Get Out is one of my favorite movies ever. It's like this
Favorite
debunks
movies
that whole-
ever? Ever? I like Get Out, but favorite movies ever? Come on, bro. You overdoing it.
attack on me. But you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Come with the territory.
Yeah, Grumpy,
Get Out
yeah.
is fire. And it
Wait, I
delivers
thought you
the
knew who he was. I thought you came in knowing who he was. Yeah, he was a border patrol officer.
same message.
He
more or
just
less, but
he just released that book.
Actual fire ass horror suspense thriller type of film. Anyway, I'm just looking for an actual argument against the points I made for my critiques of the film. All right.
You can't make arguments against your critique of the film. Or if you do, it's going to be much better than what you provided. Whoa.
I guess I'm gonna refresh them. Newest first. Here we go. You're so damn closed-minded that you didn't understand the movie. They explained why the KKK went back in the morning, but you weren't paying attention to what was being said because the main vampire said what was about to happen and why. Okay. You can say this movie is
He
entertaining.
just somebody is telling him why he wasn't paying attention, and he says, "Okay." You know what I'm saying? Like somebody was explaining to you why you didn't engage with the movie, and your response is, "Okay." You didn't address somebody actually critiquing why you sounded dumb in your review.
But other than that, I don't want to hear any others praise for it. The difference between a movie like Get Out and this is Jordan Peele is actually a very intellectual director and writer and can write a deeper message and twist on black culture and racism.
That's fucking stupid. I'm not here to debate who's better, Jordan Peele or Ryan Coogler, but Get Out was not deeper than this movie. I highly disagree with that.
Ryan Coogler simply gets an all-black cast and begins to receive praise. He doesn't actually do anything other than teach racism is bad throughout his movies, something I would assume.
What the fuck are they talking about? Ryan Coogler, this is his first time even making a movie of his own idea. If I'm not mistaken, all of Ryan Coogler's movies have been somebody else's idea that he implemented as a director. I'm pretty sure that this is his first movie that's of his own brain and mind.
Everyone realizes at this point. Don't ever compare this trash, one-dimensional movie to a movie like Get Out or Nope. This movie, Sinners, is a perfect example of why I'll never trust Rotten Tomatoes and people with a good moral compass.
Yes, the movies, okay. The major movies he's directed. Sinners is the only one that's his. He did Black Panther. He did Fruitvale Station. He did Wakanda Forever. He did Creed, Judas and the Black Messiah, all the Creeds. Something called Locks, Anthem, Space Jam, and Wrong Answer. None of these are his IPs. This one is. So for you to say that he does all this, and like he doesn't know what to do, like no, that's everything. These movies were. This is an original movie from his own mind.
But lack of true understanding will praise any movie with black people nowadays. I wasn't expecting that. You watch Twilight, that is the gayest vampire movie ever. Give me your man card. I first thought the title was clickbait, but what is trash is your entire take. You deserve to get dragged.
Yeah, he
for
did
this
say Dusk Till Dawn was an influence.
Your political stance is so off base that you can't even appreciate a really good movie. Like, what does my political stance have to do with anything?
See how blind he is to he's blind to what he's doing. What is my bro? You called it woke and propaganda. The movie is not woke or propaganda. That's why your political stance he zoomed in on his face like, what does my political stance got to do with this? You don't see how entrenched it is in your concept of this movie? Clearly we see it.
Even appreciate a really good movie. Like, what does my political stance have to do with anything? Anyway,
it has to do with
crazy how people unsubscribe because they think Stevie is an Uncle Tom for having his own opinion on some movie. Talking sideways about his girl and shit. This message might have gone over his head, but the divide in America is because people over there can't seem to get over the whole race thing. We all know there's differences in black and white culture, but come on, it's an opinion about a movie. We all are entitled to our own opinion regardless of heritage. This man support black culture every day by doing reaction videos of hip hop and breaking down the bars. This coon has the nerve to be on camera with a basic Becky while dissing a really good movie, shaking my damn head. Ninjas will never learn, even though there's 400 years of historical proof. Shannon Sharp 2.0, a coon, gonna be a coon. Black men have always been the weakest link in the black community. Enough said.
Nigga, why would you say that after calling him a coon and then say black men been the weakest link in black history or the black community rather?
Know about this take, LOL. Coon alert. The visuals were great. The people were beautiful. Black culture is beautiful. And seeing a black man in a position where he has wealth and autonomy is always uplifting to see, but the actual story could have been better. I don't know how they were soldiers and gangsters and had time to make a baby. The baby dies in 7 years. It's 1932 when Smoke has combat experience. World War I already happened and World War II hadn't yet. It was entertaining nonetheless because black culture is always nice to watch.
That was stupid. I don't get what. Oh, God. First of all, how is it that he can't make a baby before going off to war? And what? That just seems so convoluted. That seems so convoluted. I don't even understand how any of that was like contradictory to anything that happened in the story. Why he can't have a baby before he go off to war? Why he got combat training during his time in the war? I don't get the problem.
I prefer Native American, please.
Nah, his wife is white, bro. And the only woman I ever seen him with was the same girl.
Yep, it's just y'all. That movie is great. Nosferatu 2024 is the best vampire movie ever made. I need to see that. The movie was good, just had a dark meaning behind it. The fact that the only thing black people can say is the acting was good, the costumes were good, the set design was good, shows zero intelligence. The story was garbage. And the white Irish vampire...
That's not the only thing people said.
Did not appropriate black culture because he was singing an Irish jig. Black folk did not grow up and stop demonizing white people to feel better about themselves. Such a silly people. Black Africans sold other Africans to white. Blame your ancestors. Oh, see, it's a whole. See, that was my whole point, bro. That was my whole point, dog. Like,
a lot of the black critiques is because you go out of your way to shit on black people all the time. That's why people have room to say shit like this. This ain't a one-off, bro. It's not a one-off.
I'm gonna get to it, bro. I want to see somebody's argument against my points.
You didn't
make
it was
points. Trash too. People are so quick to jump on the hype train. This man tripped out on the whole movie. What was woke about this movie? Y'all big influencers pushing that woke narrative way too much.
Yes.
You are correct. I believe.
You see how he's ignoring like the people that's criticizing him? Like he's not engaging with the people that are giving valid responses to what he's saying. Because I'm looking for people to rebut what I said. And he's so unaware of the fact that he didn't say shit.
It may be his crossover to signing a solo away. You have to understand whatever America is told, they follow. But I couldn't agree more with you and your wife. Trash is a clean way of saying it. Just because he has a difference in opinion than any of you sure makes y'all come with personal attacks on him, man. Some sensitive ass people here that act like
I do agree. Like as a content creator, people like attack you personally without knowing you, and I think that's weak. I think it's stupid. If I criticize a content creator in their comments, I'm criticizing the content that they just put out, and he's ignoring the people that's actually doing that. That's responding to the video itself. I do think it's ridiculous to attack people's wives, and because his wife, he puts her in the camera, but she's not a content creator, so I don't think she's fair game to attack. But the problem is he's way too hard on black people and sucks up to white people so much. It's just an easy way to attack him to have a white wife. So it's fucked up though.
Personally, I haven't seen it yet, but I have a feeling you gave an incredibly bad take on the movie. I've heard a few white people mildly complain about the prejudice in the film, but they usually say overall it's a great movie. Using Matt and tripping, he has to dislike the film to keep peace at home. Did he really say the big black girl what? So big bone black women can't be saviors? Wow. Yeah. That was one of my arguments with the movie is that, the pretty white girl who initiated the whole problem. Right, when the whole meaning behind the movie.
Notice he keeps saying pretty white girl. Why she can't just be the white girl? Why it can't be the white girl and the black woman?
Divisive tone, right? But they make an effort to have the pretty white girl who's involved with one of the twins. It's her. She initiated the whole problem by getting turned.
She really
into a
didn't.
vampire.
She
started the whole plot.
Yes, but. She was used to get the movie going, yes, but like blaming it on her is a weird way of putting it. I get why he's saying that, but
right, and then you have, the black savior being the big black woman. Like if the whole movie is about black empowerment,
the black savior is about the big black woman. What the fuck are you talking about?
You have, the black savior being the big black woman. Like if the whole movie is about black empowerment and how beautiful it is, like why would y'all make the contrast between that so glaring, brother?
What do you mean the contrast is glaring? Even if we going based off your stupid assessment of it that it's about black people and black empowerment, which is I don't think that's what the movie about. Is not about black empowerment. If you're reading it that way, how is a black woman being the savior a contradiction or contrast to just a white woman setting the story off? Like if she was black, you wouldn't be able to say this, and it wouldn't change much of the movie. To be honest, like this is so stupid.
Pretty white girl.
Yeah, you need to see it now.
Which caused all the problems, and then the big black girl, which is the savior, bro. I just think that's contradictory to the message behind the movie. But
how is it contradictory to the movie? Under your own lens, you're saying that they're trying to say black people are good and white people are bad. You said that. I don't agree, but you said that. So how is it contrary to what the movie is trying to say if you're saying that the white woman is the reason everything got set off and the black woman saved everybody? She's the reason people was able to survive. That doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense. Literally, that plays into exactly what you're saying it plays into. Do you hear yourself?
No, that's just me. Call me a coon. And it isn't no horror story. Coogler just added those elements to emphasize that the black experience and our joy often comes from much trauma. It definitely says horror. Bro, if you don't like the movie.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I do get that. I do get that. But I wouldn't, you can still, even if the movie is labeled in the wrong genre, you can still critique it on its own merits. Get off of the fact that it says horror. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it kind of like if you go to see a adventure movie and it's really like a suspense or whatever, that would kind of piss you off. But then how about you just, all right, so it's really a suspense movie. So how can I look at it as a suspense movie? So if you take horror off and be like, all right, so it's not a horror movie. How do I look at this as a thriller? You know what I'm saying?
We don't try to make other people not like the film, talking about if you plan on seeing the movie, don't watch it. That sounds like some hating shit.
Yeah, that is weird. That is weird. No matter how much I dislike a movie, I'm not telling you, I'm like, don't go see it. Some people really want to see shit, and I'm not going to be like, don't see it. I'm be like, man, that shit was trash. And I could give you why I think it was stupid, but I'm not going to be like, don't see it. Like, I'm not telling people that's some, like you said, that's some hating ass shit. Like, people can't talk me out of seeing a movie that I want to see. Shit.
You're an asshole clown at this point, dude. Of course you wouldn't like it. Sinners is a 9 out of 10 movie for me. My second favorite movie this year, so far behind Companion. But see, I haven't heard anybody say why, bro. Perhaps you should stick to hip hop and leave movie reviews alone. The movie is good.
He don't have to explain why. He's not doing the review, but he's just saying he likes it in your comments. He's not leaving a review. And he didn't choose to even rebut what you said. He's just saying, I like it. He probably just want other people to signal to other people in the comments like, this movie good.
Maybe a little overhyped, but definitely well made and has an amazing musical scores as well as tremendous acting. Bro, do better. Takes like this affect your brand. Did it hurt you seeing Michael B shooting those KKK guys? Some of you comment.
That's fucked up. That was funny. I feel bad, but that was fucking funny. Did it hurt you seeing Michael shoot the KKK guys?
Commenting are idiots. Stephen Lee openly said Twilight came off as gay and goofy and silly, but he likes it in a guilty pleasure type of way, but still appreciate that it's a vampire movie. He never said Twilight was a masterpiece because it's not. We all gotta get politic detox. It has fried this man's soul. Seek God.
Yes. Politic detox is fried your soul. Yes. Like you're so politically driven by everything that you can't just take this movie. Even if you don't like it, you still feel like it was political, and it's not. The movie's not political.
It has fried this man's soul. Seek God. It has not. We all gotta get politic detox. It has fried this man's soul. Seek God. Gawk, glazing, guzzling milk of magnesia and 5. This is very similar to when white people said that the Super Bowl halftime show was trash because they didn't get the message or didn't rock with the message. People do anything to be different. Stevie Knight, the reason why you think the movie Sinners is trash is because you have zero culture. I know you were trying to impress your white wife or girlfriend by throwing black people under the bus. You are trash. Oh my God, I hate you. Keep popping up in my YouTube algorithm.
Damn.
Seems as though you completely missed the religious, spiritual aspects of the film as well. Lost one. Wow, dude is sitting in the car with the white woman shitting on a movie about blacks that black people like. Coon.
No, you see everybody calling his wife white. His wife, she's some type of white. Like, I don't think she's like a white American. I think she's from like some European country or something. But I don't think she's not just like a white woman out Caucasus Mountain. She's like, you know, maybe like a South American. I don't know. I'm not good with geography and how people look where they come from and shit like that. But I know she don't look like your standard. Plus, she had a lot of plastic surgery, so who knows what she really looked like. She's not light skinned though. You see, he's not denying everybody calling his wife white. Everybody know his wife is white.
Are horrible. The comments did not vibe. The movie was too long, subpar shit. I read the comments. It was a decent movie, but y'all exaggerating a bit, saying so fire. I watched it with no expectations, no complaints, just a fun movie. But then again, I didn't hear any of the hype at all, so that helps. Reach out to Michael and talk about it. Black men can have different opinions. You absolutely lost me when describing the big fat black lady and the pretty white women. All you had to do was call them by names. There's everybody in their feelings. I could be wrong, but I felt
talking about everybody in their feelings. No, nigga, it says something about the way you look at black folks and white folks. Like, there ain't no feelings. She is all right. She all right. But it's a lot of plastic surgery. So I know personally, I'd be like, when I see women with a lot of plastic surgery, I'd be like, what do you really look like? Like, people be so thirsting over SZA. I'd be like, SZA, I don't care because I don't even know what you really look like. And granted, it's like, yes, this is the face you have now, but it's like when you get older and your face starts to change, like that shit gonna look nasty when your face can't naturally age and it's trying to hold up this fake stuff. That shit gonna look nasty. You know what I'm saying? I think like if I'm not mistaken, look at Pamela Anderson. She looks crazy now. So it's like that surgery and the face shit. That shit, it makes it hard for me to be like, damn, she bad. Like sometimes, like the little subtle things, you could get done. Maybe, like the lips making them fuller. Maybe sometimes. But when you do the cheeks and the eyebrows and the jaws and all that should be looking weird. SZA had work, bro. You don't know what SZA. I'm finna show you what SZA look like. It's literally a different person. She's two different people. Bro, SZA is a totally different person, which is why I'm not attracted to her. Like, this is a totally different person, and I can't rock with that. Like, when I see SZA now, the people are like, oh, she bad. And I'm like, well, this person is totally different. It's hard for me to be like, she's bad because it's just way too dramatic. Even a lot of makeup kind of makes me feel like, what you really look like. You know what I'm saying? So SZA is a totally different person after her surgery. So it is, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I will say she do look better now. I ain't gonna front. She look better now. But I can't. I've never got the hype of SZA simply because it don't look like her. It just looks like a totally different person to me. And so I just can't be like, man, she fine, because I feel like it's not really her, She do look like a Bratz doll.
Of assimilation. Bro, I have respect for you, but your opinion, this was trash. The movie is damn near a masterpiece. Tell me why. Everybody disagreeing, not saying any facts. Everybody disagreeing, not saying any counter arguments tells me everything.
You ignored the real arguments. The first one you read was a real argument. You was like, oh. You didn't even respond to it.
I just seen it. I'm gonna keep it 100. The shit was absolute garbage. Everything he's saying is straight facts. Disappointing as a vampire flick or whatever the fuck it was trying to do. I don't think movie reviews is your thing. I'm with you, Stevie. Movie was hot trash. You're not a good storyteller. Sorry, the main character embodied one of the 7 deadly sins. The Asians siding with blacks when it came to the money, believing and jeopardizing others. All this puzzle piece stuff, man. So I saw.
See, he didn't want to engage with the movie. All this puzzle piece stuff. Honestly, it wasn't that it wasn't one of them movies where it's like, man, like everything is so abstract and we can't put it together. You got to really sit and think. It wasn't even that deep. Like, is he some all this puzzle piece? It wasn't that deep.
Dropped this 12 hours ago, and I didn't think much of it because you trashed the movie, and I always go by your advice. And as I love horror and vampire movies, well, I was talking to a couple of brothers who both saw Sinners. They saw it in Dolby Sound. They said that this music passes right through your soul, but what's notably is that they loved the movie and we're going to see it again. Stevie, I think you got to rewatch it in your eyes, exposing a lot of truths, like how music conjures spirits.
Cactus-tocracy.
I can't do this all day. All right. Nobody said anything to counter my arguments.
You ignored the very first comment he read was a counter and he didn't address it. Come on.
I'm going to repost this again, bro. I'm not going to go through all these 600 comments. But no one has argued any of my points, bro.
He's not realizing it, Mike. You didn't make points. You just said it was trash. You told how the movie started and you dumbed down the interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God.
Right. And I mean, really, these comments weren't as bad as the ones I read yesterday. Let me see top comments.
Right. He a
YouTube
to music reviewer.
1930s Mississippi is racist.
Hip-hop.
Motherfucker offended by reality. Okay, so maybe these are the good ones. Okay. I know this.
Catch up, YouTube.
These comments weren't as bad as the ones I read yesterday. Let me see top comments. Hold on. So it's woke to depict 1930s Mississippi as racist. Motherfucker offended by reality. Okay, so maybe these are the good ones.
Yeah, it's like, are you going to address the fact that you're mad about the reality of the 1930s that they're depicting? He said, like, you mad they racist in the 1930s as if it wasn't a thing?
I know this click rage bait, but I can't resist. If you want to argue it's overhyped, that's one thing, but the calling it trash is crazy. The problem was you let your political mind get in the way of just watching a movie.
Yeah.
You say some real stupid ass anti-woke takes, but this got to be up there with the dumbest. When you say I'm a horror movie fan and your examples include Twilight, of course you're not going to like a movie that is smarter than your usual things you like. It's your opinion and it's valid, but this is a great movie. Bro, I was using Twilight because I didn't like Twilight initially because the vampire movie was whack. I didn't understand the hype. It's like I didn't understand hype about this one, but then realizing what it was about, I could appreciate what they were trying to do, right? Missed the whole point, but anyway. Probably shouldn't do movie reviews. Can't take your opinion seriously anymore. I was in the audience that clapped afterwards. You don't understand racism, white supremacy, what it is and how it works. Everything you think you understand will only confuse you. If anyone were to call this trash, I would have predicted it'd be them. All right. Anyway, yesterday when I was in the comments, bro, they was going crazy. Like, just give me the business. But I ain't about to fucking sit here and read for fucking hours. These comments weren't even that bad, man. But like I said, you can't even find any like arguments against my critiques of the film. And I gave objective critiques.
No, you did not. I gave objective critiques. You said it was trash. You said the plot was nothing without even explaining what the plot was. You criticized the woman for being the one that saved everybody as the fat black lady, as if that was an indictment on the film. You think that you're contradicting your own thoughts of the movie by trying to say that the white woman that ruined everything and the black woman that saved everything is contrary to saying that white people are the bad guys and black people are the good guys. Like, you're not making sense in your own criticism.
Feelings about the message behind the movie, bro. But like I say, I fuck with Get Out, and Get Out delivers the same message, bro. I think messages like that are divisive in nature, hence the clapback.
So should we never address divisive issues in art? Like, you critique hip hop artists. You love the Drake Kendrick beef. What is this? I think is divisive shit. What is that about? Nothing can be portrayed if it's divisive, or would you deem divisive? The movie wasn't even trying to be divisive, honestly. You ain't like Get Out? I like Get Out, but the way he's praising it, like he's one of my favorite movie ever. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, it was good, but damn, favorite movie ever? I was thoroughly satisfied with Get Out because I really like how it ended because I thought they was gonna play us.
Back to me in these comments, bro. That's the really glaring thing about
Twilight.
This to me
I don't know. I never got into Twilight because it seemed so corny.
Serves as a channel to be divisive, bro, because if y'all go in the comments,
why do you this is such bullshit. He's saying that the movie's divisive because of how people are in the comments. Nigga, you got out here and shitted on a movie that most people like and didn't give any real valid criticism of it. So the comments is cooking you now, and you're saying, see what I'm talking about? This movie's divisive. Bro, if you got on here and said Eminem is the worst rapper ever on this channel, the comments will cook you for that too. So, see, Eminem divisive. Like, if you say something that most people agree that they like and it's the opposite, yes, people gonna disagree with you. And now you're getting a taste of your own medicine because you thought that your audience just gonna fuck with you because they fuck with you. No, nigga, you're tripping, and it's not solely based off the fact that you didn't like the movie. It's the way you criticized it, and you're getting that same energy back. You gave a dumbass reaction, a dumbass review, so you getting dumbass comments, and you getting people that's really disappointed in you because they would expect more, because your engagement with that movie was minimal, and that's why you're getting shitted on. It's not because you didn't like the movie solely.
The ones I just read just now weren't that bad, but there was in the comments in there attacking me, you know, who I am as a person, calling me racist, calling me coon, attacking my girl. You know,
and you're ignoring what people replied, saying why you were wrong.
Once it gets to that point, when I'm simply giving an opinion on the movie and I'm getting attacked personally, you lost the argument. If you can't debate what I'm saying with just objective or subjective facts or claims, You lost the argument when you attack me as a person, and that's a result of this movie being what it is. It's a divisive movie. So it's like if you don't,
bro, if you would have got on here and said Endgame was trash, which is not a divisive movie, people would have shitted on you the same way. Like, let's be real for a second, bro. It's because the movie is widely regarded as a great movie. And of course, everybody's not gonna like everything. That's for certain. But you can't sit here and act like a movie that's got a fucking, what does this movie have now? Let's see what it has. Between critics and viewers, Rotten Tomatoes. Or should I do Metacritic is the one where they check to see if you had a movie ticket. This motherfucking movie, oh my God, I hate y'all. I hate Rotten Tomatoes. Stop playing with me, bro. I don't have ads. You fucking assholes. I don't want ads. But you can see before this gets in the way, look. 98 for critics, 97% for viewers. Like, you can't you can't review a movie like that this uncritically and think you won't get shitted on. Like I said, the same goes for Endgame. If you got on here and shat on Endgame the way you did this movie, the comments would be the same thing, and you couldn't say this movie is divisive. Bro, give me a fucking break.
support this, then fuck you. You against black people. I can't be real. I can't give my opinion because it doesn't.
There's some people doing the black shit, and some people just saying like you tripping. This was a stupid review.
With the cultural black.
That's not everybody though. That's not everybody.
At this point, I still think the movie's fucking trash. The plot was terrible, bro. If I got to fucking sit here and connect the dots and all that.
Look at you. It's not even a connect the dots movie. It's really not. It's not in your face as Get Out, but it's not a hard line to follow in the film. Like, Jesus, what the fuck do you mean connect the dots? He acting like this movie is Inception or some shit.
I don't want to sit here and be doing that shit, bro. You know what I mean? I got time for that. Like, making a movie like this and falling short of something like a Get Out.
This is a stupid take.
Like, they missed the mark for me. Right? It fell short of what they were trying to do. But like, when you put movies out like this where, you know, people are out here coming up with other reasons outside the actual plot to say why they enjoyed the movie, bro. I like the costumes. I like the music. I like it spoke to my soul. That's all that shit so subjective, bro. The fucking story is whack.
What do you mean that's so subjective? Everything about a film review or a film itself is subjective. What the fuck was that comment? What are you talking about? This is why you shouldn't review movies. That was stupid.
To say why they enjoyed the movie, bro. I like the costumes. I like the music. I like it spoke to my soul. That's all that shit so subjective, bro. The fucking
What's not subjective about a film? What? I don't even think he knows what subjective means. Oh, I like the costumes. I like the acting. I like the music. It spoke to my soul. All that's subjective? What are you saying? Everything about a movie is subjective. And you don't have to like it. You can't tell them it's bad because they like it for those reasons. Are you kidding me?
Story is whack.
He said Memento will give him a seizure. Bro, Grump, I literally have not watched Memento because I've heard of how complicated of a movie it is that I didn't know if I had the capacity to sit and watch it. Like, I watched Inception like 3 times, but I heard Memento because I liked Inception a lot, so I really wanted to be able to get into it. But I've heard about Memento, and I was like, man, that shit sounds scary as fuck, like a damn never-ending video game or something.
About the story. The story is fucking trash. The main focus on this movie was to pander to the black community, bro. To focus on the black.
He had the opportunity to explain if he understood this movie, and he went to politics and identity politics. And then he wonders why the audience said, you let your political stance get in the way of everything you look at and do. That is exhibit A of what they're talking about. You said the movie exists to pander to black people? You think that's what this movie was about? Yeah, I'm going to watch it one day for sure.
No one talked about the story. The story is fucking trash. The main focus on this movie was to.
The main focus of this movie was to, and he could have explained the actual plot of the movie and what it was, the story it was trying to tell. He avoids what the movie is and says it's to propagandize black people. What was the word he used?
Pander to the black community.
Pander to the black community. A black man makes a movie that black people can go to enjoy. And white people, apparently. Moist Critical loved it. He said he thinks it's great. Moist Critical liked the movie a lot. He could be pandering to black people. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But that's a white guy that watched it. Birdman exposed all them other white motherfuckers that's racist and sexist and homophobic, though. They ain't even talked about Sinners at all yet, but they claim to love film. All they do is shit on black, gay, and women all the time in their reviews.
Focus on the black community, dog.
It's the best movie ever.
So damn. To the point
damn.
where I'm getting attacked for just giving my fucking opinion on this shit, bro. And that's what the fuck they want. When you can't even have a rational conversation about something like this, that's the whole problem, bro. And that's why I'm always going to speak up on it. You know what I'm saying? This is the fucking problem.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Memento got a 94
bro.
for critics and a 94 from viewers, too. Yeah, it's not even that long. Yeah. I do need to watch this shit. I've been putting it off for years.
That mad. You get that much in your emotions, but from a critique of a movie, this movie ain't got shit to do with y'all, right? You don't know these fucking actors. You don't know Coogler. You don't know none of these.
Ooh, that's such a fire, man. Dal, I don't know if you know the plot. The plot is nice. Leonard is tracking down the man who raped and murdered his wife. The difficulty, however, of locating his wife's killer is compounded by the fact that he suffers from a rare, untreatable form of memory loss. Although he can recall details of life before his accident, Leonard cannot remember what happened 15 minutes ago, where he's going, or why. Woo! That sounds so fun. I might watch that shit tonight. Yeah, I forgot about the movie. When you brought it up, I'm like, that's one of the ones I kept avoiding because I heard how deep it was. Heat. I know, bro, The Heat with Sandra Bullock.
Considering how the industry is and all the bullshit going on there, you don't know what the fuck these fools doing behind the scenes, but then to get in your feelings so much about some shit that really ain't got nothing to do with you, right? It's just another person's opinion on it, dog. Like,
another one that's highly rated.
This is why I disagree. Why we can't do that? But nah, that's the whole point, is to keep certain types of black people conditioned to be this way, where they go on the offense and have this tunnel vision looking at the world a fucking certain way. But I'm the coon.
Heat sound decent.
My politics is fucked up. I'm too conservative to appreciate the fucking movie. I mean, that's ass. That's ass, dog. Regardless of my philosophies and my political stances on shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll rock with a fucking dope ass movie, bro. Again, Get Out, fire. And if you say it's not fire, I'm not gonna get mad at you and call you a cracker or a coon.
But I bet you wouldn't, if you really love something and somebody's be like, and somebody trashes, it says trash, I hate it, and you say why, and they give you stupid ass reasons, that shouldn't be okay with you. You should be able to argue why, and it's not to necessarily change their mind, but it helps both of you kind of assess things in a more critical way than this surface level. The plot was trash. You ain't saying why.
Because you don't rock with it, bro. It's like,
it's more than just
terrible, bro. It's just not a good look, dog. But that's what they want.
He says that's called it's his only movie a reference because he thinks it's comparable in regards to black people making white people look bad. When again, Sinners is not trying to tell that same story as Get Out. So it's just he's not making any sense.
This movie is.
It's like it is like saying I have a black friend.
It's a puppet master.
Exactly. Exactly. It is the I have a black friend thing.
Tell you where to go and what to do and how to think. Like,
wait, what?
Mouse maze. That's called puppeteering. It's just terrible, bro. It's just not a good look, dog. But that's what they want. That's called puppeteering. This movie is puppeteering. And it's a puppet master. They got people in the fucking mouse maze and they telling you where to go and what to do and how to think. Like if you press this button, watch them act like this. You show them this, watch them act like this, dog. And that's the shit I'm against, bro.
This is stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Again, like I said, any movie that he shits on that's widely regarded as accepted as something that's good, you will get the same backlash. It's not about this movie in particular. Stop. If you did it about Get Out, people would say the same shit.
I saw what they were doing with it, bro. It's divisive as shit. And then
I saw what they were doing
after the fact.
You
bro.
can't create a situation and then be like, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. This is stupid. This is such low engagement. Don't do movie reviews, Stevie. Like, everybody can't do it all, bro. And I agree that you should try new things, but coming back to read the reviews and say that I knew this movie would be divisive, get the fuck out of here. I don't think it's divisive. I think white people that go see it to enjoy a movie will go see it and like it. I'm sorry.
Bro, like, all right.
It is your political brain.
You know what I'm saying? Do what you do, and you love it. Enjoy it, whatever the fuck, bro. But, like, if you can't acknowledge the fact that you're getting way too emotional about a movie, right, to, you know, come at me or come at
I don't think it's just emotion. I think people do hop in comments on YouTubers' channels and seem more emotional than they actually are because they're anonymous. I argue with people in my comments all the time. Like, those people just talk greasy because they're anonymous and they don't have to be known or could go about their day like it's never happened, and they love to try to troll people. So,
an opinion, dog, bro. That's a conversation you need to have with yourself, bro. That's a fucking problem. That's a fucking problem, dog. But yeah. Anyway, bro, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm always with the smoke. I'm not even gonna say with the smoke, bro. I am with the smoke. I'm always with the smoke, bro. But I'm always down to have a conversation with anybody who's in disagreement with me about whatever, bro. That's one of the biggest problems with the world today, right? That we've been conditioned and brainwashed to look at the world a certain way.
I know I'm nobody and he'll probably never see this, but Steve, if you would like to have a conversation about this, I will be happy to have a conversation with you about this film.
Perspectives and sentiments, they the fucking enemy. Fuck them. I ain't fucking with them, right? When, you know, I'd imagine there's a lot of people in here, and I was surprised to see that amount of pushback with my audience too, bro. Right? Because I feel like I got a lot of people here
Grump,
share
you gotta
chill. Perspective on a lot of things, bro. Like, it'd be an echo chamber in here at times. So see the drastic difference from this response was eye-opening to me. So that made me feel good because I don't want to have an echo chamber. I want differing opinions, bro. But it just sucks to see when you have different opinions, the people that I want to be here to engage in.
I think the people that's sitting gonna unsubscribe is very few and far between. But you said stupid shit, and your audience is gonna call you out. They're not yes men. You should want an audience that'll call out some BS. You don't want an audience of yes men. And and you probably have people flooding there that really don't even sub to you and just love the movie and they just want to shit on somebody that shitted on it. A lot of the people that gave probably the nastiest comments probably aren't your subs. Yeah, like, I know that's a fact. When people come shit on my videos about Fresh and Fit, it's people that's not sub to me. It's people that just want to look to be angry and get their anger off.
You know, have these types of differences occur. I want them to stay so we can talk about the things. But when you get the fuck on, that's the whole problem. That's one of the biggest problems in the world. It's always going to create that fucking divide, which comes from movies like this. But yeah, you know what I mean? It ain't going to stop no show, bro. It ain't gonna stop no show, bro. That's one thing you can always count on me being is 100% authentic all day, every day, bro. And it is what it is, dog.
I guess.